Hello everybody, this is JT Productions and welcome back to another preview and prediction video. Today I'll be doing the Charlotte 49ers. Last season Charlotte went 5-7, 3-5 in Conference USA with 3 straight losses in the season against Louisiana Tech, Marshall, and Old Dominion. Their wins came against Rice in overtime, FIU, Middle Tennessee State somehow, Gardner-Webb, and somehow against Duke. Now, recently, over the past couple of years, in 2020, they had 2 wins. 2019, they had 7 wins, pretty good. And then last year, they had 5. So can they get back to 7 wins, or will they fall back to losing a bunch of games? Well, let's see what they're working with their roster. Quarterback, they have Chris Reynolds, redshirt senior. Running back, they have redshirt sophomore Shadrack Bird. Wide receiver, they have redshirt senior Victor Tucker. Sophomore, Elijah Spencer. Junior, Grant DeBose. Offensive tight end, Taylor Thompson, redshirt sophomore. Offensive line, redshirt sophomore Arabi Muslim. Redshirt sophomore Panda Askew. Redshirt sophomore Johnny King. Redshirt senior Ashton Gist. Redshirt senior TJ Moore. And they're all being coached by fourth-year head coach Will Haley. On the defensive side, you have redshirt senior Marquise Watts, redshirt senior Isaac Hampton, redshirt sophomore Jalar Holly, redshirt junior Mike Kelly on the defensive line. Linebackers, you have redshirt junior Derek Boykins, redshirt senior BJ Turner, redshirt junior Prince Bama on the linebackers, and then in the secondary, you have redshirt senior Trey Kramer, redshirt senior Gio Howard, and then the safeties, you have redshirt junior Marcus Robitali and senior Solomon Rogers. So, you have some youth on the offensive line, so we'll see what that comes to. We'll see how Will Healy's 4th season goes at Charlotte. So, let's go ahead and just get into it. How about it? Week 1, you play at Florida, or Week 0, you play at Florida Atlantic. Now, last year, against Florida Atlantic, you ended up losing that game in a blowout. I do think you're going to lose it again in a blowout. They still have N'Kosi Perry. He is a great group of 5 quarterback when it comes to Conference USA. So I think you lose your first game of the year against Florida Atlantic. Week 2, you play William & Mary. You should win that game. You didn't. Gardner-Webb, you beat him in blowout. You should win this game as well. Then the next week, you play Maryland. I don't see you winning this game. Maryland's going to be on the upper side of the Big Ten. So you start out 1-2. Then you go on the road to Georgia State. This is going to be a difficult matchup. I think Georgia State comes out with the win. 1-3. Then you go on the road to South Carolina. They're going to beat you as well. South Carolina is a better team than you. They are skies above where you are. You're 1-4. Then you play UTEP. I think UTEP is slightly better than you this year. So the thing is Charlotte is going to be better than the record says. They just have a very tough schedule. They have 1 game in the non-con. I see them winning. So I think you end your first half of the season at 1-5 going into your first bye week. Coming out of it, you have to go on the road to Birmingham to take on UAB. I think you lose that game too. UAB is a better team than you. Then you play FIU. This is going to be a difficult game, honestly. FIU is one of the worst teams in the Conference USA. But with you on this losing streak, it's going to be tough. Since it's at home, I'll give it to you. I think you beat FIU at home to get your 1 conference win so far. Then you go on the road to Rice. This is going to be a difficult game as well. I think Rice is better than you, just like in the case of UTEP. So I'm going to give it to Rice because it's in their stadium. So Then you have to go and play Western Kentucky. I think that they're going to be better than you too. They're going to be on a hot streak at this point. So there's another win. There's another loss for you. Then you're on the road at Middle Tennessee State. They're a better team than you. I think you lose that game. Then you play Louisiana Tech. This should be a pretty good game, honestly. Louisiana Tech's going to be a middle-of-the-pack, below-average team. You could sneak up on them. I do think the Louisiana Tech gets it done, though. And you finish the season 2-10. Listen, your record does not take into effect how good your team is. Your team is around below average to middle of the pack in the Conference USA, in my opinion. It's just you have a brutal schedule, even with the Conference USA. That FIU game's going to be really close, in my opinion, too. But anyways, got you 2-10. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and have a great day. Go Dogs.